I'm Danielle from Put a Finish on It. I read 9 books in January. 6 of them were from the TBR box under my bed. It had been my 2014 New Year's resolution to read the 60 books in that box. As of today, I have 4 left. The books I read in January are Confessions of a Teenage Baboon by Paul Zindel, published in 1978. This book was very weird and very dark. I gave it 2 stars. I Am Rosemarie, a young adult Holocaust story by Marietta Moskine, published in 1972. It's not a memoir, but instead several people's true stories made into a historical fiction. I gave this 4 stars. I had avoided several Holocaust-themed books in my TBR box, but after reading this one, I figured I might as well continue with that theme. Next was The Cage by Ruth Minsky Sender, published in 1986. The Cage is the true story of the author's experiences living in the Lodz ghetto and several camps thereafter. Her story of survival is incredible, and the author did continue to write her life story after that. I gave this one 4 stars, and I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of her work. Next was The Journey Back by Johanna Rice. This one was published in 1976 and is the sequel to The Upstairs Room, which was the account of her and her sister being hidden in a farmhouse during the war. The Journey Back is a great story because it really details what life was like after the war to rebuild in Europe for the civilians, how long it took for them to get supplies and mail and food and for trains to start running. But also this shows us what it was like for the survivors who had been hidden to come back to their towns and try to readjust to life with their family members whom they haven't seen in years, and to come back to a house that may or may not be empty and waiting for them. I highly recommend both The Upstairs Room and The Journey Back. Next, I read Sarah's Key by Tatiana de Rosny, published in 2006. The book interweaves the story of an American woman living in Paris with the Paris roundup of Jewish children during the Nazi occupation of France. It examines French complicity with the Nazis during World War II. I really enjoyed this book as well, and I gave it 4 stars. Next came Those Who Save Us by Jenna Bloom, published in 2004. From the cover and the title, I assumed it was going to be about a little girl who was hidden during World War II, but that is not what it is about at all. This is a very intense and visceral novel about a German woman during the war. She does fall in love with and hide a Jewish doctor, but most of the story is concerned with what happens after that and what she does to survive during the war. The novel alternates between the woman's grown daughter, who was a German history professor in the United States, and the story of the mother's experiences during the war. I highly recommend it if you are interested in this time period, but be prepared for some adult content. Then I read It's Not Easy Being Bad and Bad Girls in Love from the early 2000s. These are books 3 and 4 in the Bad Girls series by Cynthia Voigt. I really enjoyed Cynthia Voigt's Homecoming series, the Tillerman family novels, when I was a teenager, and also her novels of the Kingdom. But this series was just okay. I like the friendship between the 2 girls, but maybe junior high isn't the best vehicle for Voigt's writing. Last, I read The Color Purple by Alice Walker, the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel from 1982. I was always afraid to read this novel because I knew it featured rape quite centrally. But after I heard from Ashley over at Climb the Stacks that there was hope and happiness in it, I decided to give it a try. I have lots to say about this novel, but until I gather my thoughts about it, I will just say that I really loved it. It's set in the South in the first half of the 20th century, and although there were parts that were tough to read, I want to urge you not to be scared and give it a try. It's a fast read and an engrossing one. I gave it 5 stars. If you want to know more about my thoughts on these books, check out my reviews on Goodreads. That's everything I read in January. How was your month? Thanks for watching.